Serena Saunders. I'm here with ConcreteCakes.com and my art gallery, PassionART Designs. I'm a painter, a mother, a teacher, designer, and business owner. Okay, so as a young child, I always knew I was going to be an artist. And like many parents of aspiring artists, my parents wanted me to do something more stable because of the notion of the starving artist. So I knew early on that if I was going to be an artist, I would have to go hard and basically, make that not a reality for myself. Fortunately for me, I did do a stint in the financial world as a financial analyst. So I was able to take that business sense from the financial world and from banking and apply it to how I run my business and how I turn art into something sustainable financially and not just art for art's sake. So what happened for me as an artist, how I was able to take my art and grow it into a business, was I took a 6-month period once I decided I was going to have PassionART years ago. I decided I'm going to leave the financial world and I'm going to work for myself. And what I did was, first I saved to be able to take care of myself for those 6 months. And during those 6 months, I basically used that time as an incubator to create a lot of work and design and promote my first art show. With that art show being a catalyst to launch me into being a full-time artist. So I did have a plan. You have to have a plan. You don't always have to have money, but you have to have a vision. And that's what I had. So I had my first self-promoted art show and announced to family and friends and people who I felt would support me that that was my mission and that's the direction I was going into. So after the first art show, I realized that I could not just paint, or not that I couldn't just paint, but that I had to look at all options of marketing and selling my work. And other options were prints, selling prints of my artwork. Other options was fashion. So I did a lot of t-shirts that summer that featured my artwork. And I can remember, I was home, I did a dozen t-shirts in my living room, put them in a garment bag, drove to South Street. 3 hours later, a boutique on South Street had the t-shirts on the wall. I think it's having that creative drive to say, I see this happening and then make it happen, and work towards it happening. The t-shirts did really well. Then I decided, I should explore fashion even more. So I took the time to research that community. And eventually the success of PassionART has been the ability to explore all avenues without running from your original purpose. Like that purpose or that piece of art or that intention has to be involved in all pieces. You can't just say, I'm gonna be a painter. No, I'm gonna sell hamburgers. Whatever you do has to still be relevant to the original mission. As far as growth is concerned, how do you continue to grow? How do you continue to keep the ball rolling or your energy high? And it's not it's not a straight road. It's not you don't go from the D to the C to the B to the A necessarily. Sometimes you go back and forth. It's a more surreal kind of movement. So it was times when I stopped on the fashion. I said, I'm just going to paint for 6 months. I'm just going to focus on showing in galleries. And then there's times when the season may come and I say, let's kind of jump back and see what the scene is like now in fashion. What's going on? How can I reinsert myself and my thoughts and my opinion into that creatively? So I would say as far as growth goes, the real growth is in how you see your vision and how you interpret it. It's not necessarily in dollars and in products. It's about growing the reality of your idea, not growing what you can touch. So the way PassionART was originally conceived was that PassionART Designs, the business, was conceived as that I was a visual artist and I created PassionART as a way to market my work. And I realized early on that for PassionART to be successful and have longevity, it couldn't just be about me. I didn't want PassionART to leave when I left. I wanted it to be sustainable. So I decided that we will also market the work of other artists as well. So the original team of PassionART, the people that kind of came on board to push the vision, were like marketing specialists, merchandising specialists, people who knew how to take a brand and grow it. So what we would do was invite other artists in and just talk to them about building their business plan, building their image, building their brand. And that was the original base for PassionART, was in marketing. The way the marketing developed into the storefront piece is the better we got at marketing, the more we could market. So for example, we started out marketing artwork, then it grows to prints. And then as those artists, particularly myself at the time, went into fashion, we would have a t-shirt line to market. And we realized that those items needed a place to be seen and sold. We did, of course, start with being sold in other boutiques, in Atlanta, in Jersey, in Philly. So we started using the marketing portfolio to expand ourselves. But even in that world, we quickly realized that to be able to help other artists, we needed a space. Because even though we could get our shirts in another store, get our handbags in another boutique, we wanted a space where we could support all the other artists and designers who needed a place as well. And that is what started the ball moving towards PassionART.